James Harden, a while ago, has requested a trade from the 76ers. He is telling the Sixers that he really only wants to play for the Clippers, and he wants a large sum of money from this team. He wants to be paid upwards $35 million. It is a high asking price. James Harden is once again quitting on a team early. Steve, as our resident Sixers fan, you have very strong feelings about this situation, so you can go first. Your reaction.
Instead of staying with the Sixers and allowing change to happen and seeing if we could, because we're close. We were a game away from moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals, and we let the Celtics win too. You say, you know what? No, guys, I'm not happy here. I want to leave again. Now you're making demands. Like, what leverage do you have? What ground do you have to stand on and say, I'm worth 35 million plus a year. Pay me this money because I'm going to get your team a championship. Well, one, you've never had one, and you've played with multiple future Hall of Famers and multiple All-Stars at the same time. Two, you don't elevate in the playoffs. You blow leads, and you don't step up when your team needs you. So why are you making demands of where you want to go? And three, why are you trying to go to a situation that I don't deem to be any better than the Sixers or the Nets when you were there? Because you have a guy in Paul George who's injury riddled, and you have a guy in Kawhi Leonard who's injury riddled. And both of them haven't been in the playoffs like in the last couple of seasons recently and been effective. So I just don't understand what James Harden sees in Los Angeles other than a bag maybe and playing with some people he thinks are cool. So yeah, I'm just not quite sure what James Harden is looking for here. I'm not sure what he sees in Los Angeles that's going to somehow make him change the narrative that we already know about him. And I just really hate that he's putting Philly in this bind, because when you come out and say, that's where I want to go, it puts that team in a bind because it tells every other team you're not going to be happy if you go there. Same thing with Damian Lillard. So this is just a frustrating situation as a Sixers fan, because I believe that James Harden shouldn't be able to determine where he's going to go. This is not like Dame. This is not a Dame caliber player. He can determine it because he's given everything to that franchise. What have you given us for us to be locked into sending you to Los Angeles? So I'm just frustrated with the whole situation.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth with that with that Dame comparison. So what I'm gonna say is pretty much what I have to say last time about the situation. James Harden is gonna be 34 years old. 34 years old this year, this of 2023. He wants to leave because we know there's been tension between him and Daryl Morey about the money James Harden was the money James Harden took the pay cut for. They were going to use to get other players, and they didn't. And James Harden wants the ball. He wants to be able to score 30 points and get 10 assists, be the man of the team, be the focal point, all that stuff. That's a large reason why he probably wanted to go to Houston, right? And you're right. James Harden is not the caliber player to be demanding to go to certain teams. And he's also not the kind of player to be like, yeah, I deserve to be on a contender and get all this big contract money. Like, for why? You're old. You digress in the postseason. You don't equate to championships. You're not a great locker room guy, and I can't commit to you being here. Like, I don't know you're going to be here long term. All the things that checkmark this type of behavior, he just doesn't cover. Like, he just doesn't. He has no accountability, and that's another reason, like, why I wouldn't want him on my team. I just don't like you said. He thinks he deserves more than what he does, and I don't understand where that's coming from. Listen to the sound. I listen to the sound.